I am not my breath. I move beyond my mind. I move beyond thinking. I move beyond even a single thought. And I invite Samuel and my guides to speak through me. Welcome back. He thinks we show up too quickly. Used to his patterns we are. How he prepares. The song he plays reminds each and every one of you that you are children of God for all eternity. He shared with a dear friend today a reminder of this eternity. This web, this tapestry of love that flows in and through each one of you. A grieving friend posted this, and as he sat and read it, he knew he had to send it to the friend's name who arose in his mind. Her dear son dropped her name in his mind, knowing that he would share it. Speaking of how, even though she thought he was lost, he is not lost. All she has to do is step out of her mind and into her heart to find him. For he is there with her this very moment. As all your loved ones you have lost are with you, dear ones. Much emotion flows when you tap into the heart. Step out of the mind. There are those who are not ready to hear this eternity that we discuss. That death is but a transition, dear ones, into another plane of existence. You chose, we have mentioned this often, to step into this physical form for the experience. But when you shed this physical form, this thing you call your soul, this energy that you are, goes on. Each one of you has stepped into this form many times. You grieve the loss of the physical presence. And we tell you, when they step through the veil, there is much rejoicing on the other side. This human existence. This human existence filled with learning, filled with growth for that is your purpose to grow in love. But this human form is no more than just a shirt or a blouse that you wear for a while. For there will come a time when you choose not to come back. Thomas here, that is just what I chose to do. My learning in this realm was complete, yet I chose not to go very far from it. That is why I come back through this one and speak to you tonight. For that is what I can bring. I can bring recognition through ones like the one I speak through and to this group, that there are, how can you call it, levels of this existence in your human form. You look around and see and make the assumption that this is all there is, dear ones. There is so very much more. So many levels. So much learning. It never ends. How do you think archangels got to be archangels?
Why don't you tell us?
What was that, dear one?
How did they get to be archangels? More learning?
That's what we are trying to tell you, dear ones. The learning does not stop here. This is just a way station along the road. Higher and higher your frequency raises. Stronger and stronger you become. This multidimensionality you speak of, have heard of. How do you know? You know you're human in this country. Do you not progress through levels and grades in your schooling? Moving on to an institute of higher learning after you exit the public realm of schooling. We give you this as an example, but we tell you the numbers are much larger, much vaster, the levels we speak of. We have told you there are guides that are around you while you are in the human form. You could view them as teachers if you wish. And just as I have, quote unquote, if you would like to call it that, graduated, I still have teachers above me. Do not like to use that term, for there is no above and below. Everyone is just where they have, struggling for words, where they have evolved to, where they have raised their frequency to. There is no judgment how fast or how slow you go, or where you even are. You are surrounded by loving teachers, loving guides, loving angels. Call them what you wish. But know you are surrounded by love, a loving presence. Each one of you, like threads in this beautiful tapestry, each thread is just as important as the next thread, dear ones. We speak of concepts that are hard to pin down, so to speak, because you walk around in these human suits, see everything as separate. You do not see the tapestry, the energy, the loving fabric of the universe. Dear ones, if you could but see the love that surrounds each and every one of you, that flows in and through you, in and through this group, in and through this community. There is no separation. Yes, with your physical senses, your human senses, it appears this way. This life force, energy that brings your essence to this body you inhabit is pure love. Flowing in and through you, flowing in and through everything you do. Everything. The love of God is in everything. Even the chairs you sit in. Even these things you call inanimate objects. With your most powerful microscopes, even the fabric is energy in motion. This one we speak through sat relaxing on the deck the other day, sitting there motionless, when this thing you call a skink, a tiny little critter, scampered up onto the deck, and though he did not move, this creature knew he was there. Eyed him intently for a while to see if he was a threat. For in this case, movement would have been a threat. Fascinated he was to watch this, to realize what was going on. It appeared suddenly and stopped and just watched, sensing the energy. He's seen this on the walks in the woods, how he and his dog Wink can come upon a creature who already knows they are there. Again, we speak of this human form, the limitations of it. Yes, the faculties you have are wonderful, can bring you pleasure, but all creatures have their own sensory structure. He's noticed, especially with his dog, how limited her vision is compared to his. He sees things often before she does, but pick a scent and race off into the woods, and he has no clue what she has just picked up on. Her nose is so much more sensitive than his. Different levels. We speak of angels and archangels and guides at different levels. For that is how you relate to this, dear ones, in your humanness. These human existences you have had, you have touched many with your kindness, with your love, with your compassion. Again, we speak of this tapestry. These many human lifetimes you have had, you have weaved your own tapestry, so to speak, with these acts of love, these acts of kindness, compassion. That is why we tell you you are loved beyond measure. In your humanness, you are so focused, so to speak, on this current thread you are working on, so to speak. When we look at you, dear ones, we see the whole tapestry of all the love you have ever shared. All the say you are loved beyond measure, dear ones. We see the totality. We honor you. We rejoice when you return. And we honor the choice you make when you choose to come back and do this all over again. Are there any questions?
Samuel, I'm concerned about our Mother Earth. And there's only... And now I would...
You see it from your human perspective, dear one. Gaia has been here for so very much longer than the humans that occupy it. Your scientists think they know more than they actually know. This raising of the consciousness on the planet is raising the consciousness of what it means to take care of Mother Earth.
Can you talk to us about what it means to have our third eye opened?
The first thing we caution you is to view it as the same as we view this consciousness we speak of. It is not open and shut, so to speak. It is not you open your eye, your third eye, and you see everything differently. It is much more of a gradual thing, dear ones. Some will experience, how do we say, accelerated awareness, understand the uniqueness of each and every one of you. And even though you could say your third eye has started to open, you are more aware, your awareness will be different from others in this room. We have spoken of this before. This third eye you speak of, is it not a spiritual awakening within you? A deeper understanding.
Well, even at the deeper understanding that we have at this level, at our human level, and we have our filters, so we work through our own filters basically to get to a level of awareness of allness, I would gather. And now on other levels that we go, once we leave the physical vehicle, then do we go into realms also where there's more filters at that level to...
It's continuous. It's eternal, dear ones. It never ends. What is eternity? In your humanness, how do you grasp such a concept?
Well, that's a real good question.
How do you grasp how high you can go spiritually in this plane before you no longer need to come back? You've learned all you can learn in this realm, so you move on to a new realm and you start over. Yes, you start from a higher level.
Frequency.
Frequency.
And that's what Thomas chose to do, is to not return here, but to stay in a higher frequency, but tap into...
To assist those like yourselves who wish to raise their consciousness, raise their frequency. And there will be a time when he moves on.
Does Thomas have memories or thoughts of when he was on this earth plane, or does that kind of get erased?
He is aware. How do we say? He is aware of where he has come from, the experiences he has had. But does he go there? How do we phrase this? It would be like a PhD choosing to recount first grade. He chooses not to go there. He chooses to do the work he feels is most beneficial for his growth at this time. For even though he assists those here, he is growing also.
And going back to the third eye opening, I guess I always kind of thought of it as having something to do with developing your psychic awareness or hearing or sight, but not necessarily then. It's spiritually growing also, or different for everyone.
All of you are unique. All of you are on your own unique path. All of you have chosen some form of spiritual growth. But we say, this opening, this eye you continue to talk about, is just like your spiritual growth, is just like your personal growth. It never ends. This one we speak through has only opened to this channeling for what? 15 months in your time marking? And yet he has seen these psychic capabilities you discuss change over time. Clairsentience, claircognizance seem to be his strongest points on these psychic realm. Those who can see auras, this clairvoyance for him. How do we say he gets these, I guess you could call them almost like flashes, where he realizes there's more, but it's like he's shown a picture so fast and it's taken away so fast he has no concept. Or he might realize there is, quote unquote, a figure or a person, but the image does not stay. The image does not get processed. When he first started channeling, you can ask his dear wife Laura how haltingly the words came. See, you put this opening of the third eye like it's separate. It is not separate. It is part of your whole spiritual growth, your whole unfoldment. And it's not like, boop, it pops open and you can see and experience every psychic faculty known to man. It does not work that way, dear ones. There is no magic pill. There is no magic moment. Even those who have, in your terms, become enlightened, that is but a new beginning for them. Yes, they see more like we see, the oneness of it all, the love that permeates everything.
Samuel and Thomas, thank you for coming to visit with us this evening. We've enjoyed it.
As always, dear ones, we so appreciate you gathering and letting us come and speak with you. We so appreciate you. And with words we try to impart on you the amazing, loving beings that you are. How far-reaching each and every one of your love has spread. We see this. We honor this. And we so very much appreciate you. And we bid you a very loving Adieu.